All right, guys, so it's an early one here today. Making a little coffee, but I wanted to document this one today because I think today might be the day, and I know I'm out of picture now, but it's all right. Today might be the day that I have my first $100,000 profit trade. So I wanted to figured, hey, let's jump on the camera and let's document today. Because it might be, and I'll use this footage if it is, and I might even use the footage regardless. So we're gonna actually this is gonna be a quadruple shot today, quadruple shot of espresso, because I am tired. It's 5:40 right now, 5:40 a.m. I woke up early. My body just, I don't know about you guys, but if you're in a trade and you know it's sort of large, and you know it could be something that's very interesting, your body wakes you up, right? You're up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. You're right out of bed. First thing you do when you open your eyes is check your telephone. I don't know why I'm saying telephone. Check your cell phone. Feels like I'm back in 1970 here. Check your phone. Take a look at TOS. What's it doing? Where's the stock, right? That is absolutely the morning that I'm having right now. So, espresso, and then we're going to go ahead and do a little early morning pre-market look at the trade. So, exciting day, we shall see. But I figured let's document today, so that's what we're doing. I'll see you guys next on the charts. So taking you guys over to the charts, we're gonna go ahead and pull up Interactive Brokers here. So here's my Interactive Brokers. You guys can see over on this left side, the trade that I'm in that's the largest is Microsoft. So Microsoft here, this account had $100,000 in it yesterday, so we're up to 147 today. If I pull up my account, you can see the Microsoft position, and I know that's, yeah, it's going to autofocus, I believe. The Microsoft position is a August 23rd, 420 call. And right now I'm up about 35K. This Tesla position up about 6K. I'm thinking if this Microsoft position goes, about $2 to $3 more in the money, we're going to be close to that 100K mark. So that is the current position, and this is the Microsoft chart. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to jump onto the computer and we're going to review these charts. It's really early, but let's do a little pre-market review. I'll talk you through sort of what I look at in the pre-market to get an idea of what I'm looking for the stock to do to stay in the position, to understand the chart. So let's do that, and then we'll probably update you again maybe midday, later day, right? This video is pretty much going to be documenting this entire day. So you saw the morning, you saw the pre-market. Let's do a little chart recap, and then we'll update later in today's trading day. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and do a little recap here in the pre-market. We're going to take a look at Microsoft, get a look at the daily chart, the 4-hour, and then break it down a little bit more short term. I want to give you an idea of why I'm so confident on this swing trade, why I took so much size, and why I really wanted to go after this one. Been sort of stalking this one alongside NVIDIA for quite a while. If you guys have been a part of the live streams, you should know this. We were all over the NVIDIA 97 entry for the swing trade. I was all over the idea of Microsoft over the 200 SMA here off the 390, 400 zone. But I wanted to wait for the reclaim of 417 and the daily 20 to really get interested. And that is exactly what is happening here. So here's the daily chart, guys, on Microsoft. And you guys can see there is a very important area around this $417 range that has been sort of a reactionary zone on Microsoft for quite some time. It was some previous rejection points, right? It was some previous support. Then it turned back into a rejection, back into support, back into rejection, back into support, right? Sort of just flip-flopping along this level for quite a while. And just recently, we got back above that level, back above the daily 20, and we turned that level into support. Now, this is an important reclaim on Microsoft, in my opinion, right? Reclaiming back over that sort of middle of the seesaw equilibrium level, that 417 level. I think flipping back above it and turning it back into support will help drive Microsoft higher, right? And my target here is these highs right here around this $430 level, where that's, some of those rejections have come in the past, right? 430, We've seen some rejections in the 430 area. Now, in this situation, I do believe it can get past this 430 because of some of the other things going on in the market, right? There is some very strong market action lately. S&P 500 is almost getting back to all-time highs. And so Microsoft, in my opinion, is actually sort of lagging the NASDAQ and S&P 500 move. And if Microsoft does wake up to that sort of market move that's been going on, I think Microsoft ultimately could be getting close, right, to that 446, 450 area. This is probably my ultimate target over here. There are some other stocks that are getting close to this all-time high, right? There's Meta, that's almost there. There's Netflix, that's pretty much at all-time highs. There's Nvidia, which is almost there as well, right? So some big names really, really getting back there. And why not Microsoft, right? Why not Microsoft? I think Microsoft heavily lagging this move. And that's why I got so aggressive on this trade, because I know Microsoft is Microsoft at the end of the day. It is a large name on the stock market. It is a strong name on the stock market. And I really like this 417 reclaim. So I'm going to break this down on the 1 hour chart. We can see this a little bit shorter term, right? Here's your 417 level, right? 417. Here's your little 417 rejection, 417 support. And look at this recent move, right? Look at how Microsoft got above that 417, pulled back to it both Friday and yesterday, and aggressively held that level. And I really like that. I really, really like that. So for me, I will be long Microsoft. As long as it's over 417, I am going to be staying long Microsoft. Looking for, ultimately, I mean, this is my first target at 430 and that 100 SMA above. But if we can get above that 430, I am definitely looking for a move up into this 448, 450 zone. These are my first two targets, right? Here's sort of target 1, and here is target 2 up here. 430, 446. Entry here, right? My entry was at 417, so here's my risk. No, so if this is my target, right, and this is why I love this trade when we visualize it like this. Here is my target. Those are my two targets. Here's my risk, right? So my reward 1 is here, and my reward 2 is right here, right? So to me, that is risk reward all day, right? So that's the Microsoft trade. I'll actually show you guys real quick on the 5-minute, right? Look at how Microsoft reacted to 417 on the short-term time frames yesterday. Look, 417, 417. When I saw this, I started to really, really believe that 417 was battling and giving me the opportunity to enter, and you can see the end of the day there. So that's the trade on Microsoft. This is just a pre-market update. You guys can see right here, it is 6:11 a.m. It is pretty early out there, just giving you an early morning update. Let's pull up the Interactive Brokers one more time. Here is the Interactive Brokers account showing you guys the positions. Here it is. So pulling this up, you guys can see Microsoft, August 23rd, 420 call, have 200 contracts. My average price is 350. They're right now at 515. Unrealized P&L about 33,000. And so for me, right, we can do this just for fun. We can calculate what we need these contracts to be at. For 201 contracts, right? 201 contracts times 349. That's about a $70,000 position. So let's say we need the whole position to be worth about $170,000. And for that to happen, right? So $170,000. Let's divide that by 200. We would need the contracts to be right about $8.50. And so right now they're about $5. So to get to about $8.50, we need Microsoft to probably go up about $3 a share, right around that $3 to $4 a share level, and we should be about $100,000 profit. So $3 to $4 a share from this point is really putting us right around that 100 SMA, right around that 430 area. So if we do get that move, right, if we get this move that I'm looking for, we should be looking at that 100K profit, and I hope to see it. And I'm just documenting this with you guys live. So hope you enjoy it. Let's see how this goes. All right, guys. So today we didn't quite get to 100K, but we got close. Hold on. Let me turn this light off. So we didn't quite get to 100, but we got close. And we're up about 63% 64,000 to end the night. It's Tuesday. It's 4:39 p.m. right now. I'm giving you a little bit of an update here. We're up about 64. I'm about to show you guys in just a second. I did take half off the position. I just felt like it was the right thing to do, man. I definitely tried to get greedy here, and you guys saw in the beginning of the video, I was looking for that big 100K number, but I can't get blinded, okay? I can't get blinded by that. Of course, it's a lofty goal. It's an awesome goal. Of course, I want to hit it, but there was some reasons to take some off. We were up about 100% on Microsoft. Taking half off up 100%, I'm never going to go away from that. That is basically taking all of the risk out of the position, right? At this point, the contracts will go to zero, and I walk away without a loss. I'm not going to let them go to zero, obviously, but I did take that half off. I locked in about $32,000. Unrealized still about $32,000 as well. I think the right move. Microsoft hit a 100 SMA level that I was a little bit cautious of, and I really got a nice squeeze today and a nice outperformance versus the market. The market was okay today. It wasn't really instilling that much strength, so that was another reason why I said, hey, let's be cautious here. Let's be safe. So took that off. That's your little update for today. It's Tuesday. I'm going to also follow this little clip up in actual analysis here on the screen. So what you're about to watch now is just a little analysis actually on the screen. I'll show you exactly what happened today on Microsoft. And that's it, right? We're going to make this a multi-day video. I'm going to go play some Overwatch for the rest of the night. I'm going to go ahead and relax, have some dinner, do a little bit of nothing, basically. Awesome day. Locked in, realized about 40,000, which is great. That's a big day for me. And that's about it. So the next you're going to hear from me live, not in front of the computer screen, is tomorrow, which is Wednesday, August 21st, and hopefully that is the completion of this trade. I'm hoping to be out of these contracts by tomorrow. They're Friday contracts, so I don't really want to hold them into Thursday. They are deep in the money now, so I'm a little bit more comfortable, but we're going to have to see what tomorrow looks like. So that's your Tuesday update. Stay tuned for a little bit of analysis here on Microsoft, and then I will see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, August 21st. And before I forget, guys, here's the broker. You guys can see that's the position. Microsoft, August 23rd, 420 call. Unrealized profit, 31,175, 89%. Realized profit, 32,177. You can see the order entry right there. In 200 contracts at 349. Took half off today at 669. Those are the timestamps right there. And so that is the update there in front of your face on Interactive Brokers. Let's jump into a little bit of analysis. All right, guys, so real quick analysis here. Just wanted to jump onto the charts, give you an idea of what Microsoft did and sort of really dive deep. So today, I was really just wanting Microsoft, first of all, to hold over 417, right? We talked about that in the morning, the 417 hold. That was very important. And today, I just wanted to see some stair-stepping, right? So if we dive this down into the 15-minute chart, we have a Thursday high of around this 421 level and a Friday high of 421, right? 421, 421, and 421. And so today I really just wanted us to hold above that, right? That was it. That was my game plan. As long as we're above 421, I am happy to maintain this thing, right? Because that means I am turning previous highs into new lows, right? That's exactly what I need to see to maintain the stair-stepping upside, sort of the structuring upside move, which makes me maintain a long position. So today, we got exactly that, right? We got a little pullback early morning, but we had a very strong defend at that 421 level, which kept me in this trade. And I pretty much just held all day. I said to the group and I said to myself, I continued to reiterate to myself intraday, you're over 421, hold the position, we're good, we're above that previous high, it's turning into support, that should lead to market upside, right? So, or Microsoft upside. Now, of course, while I'm holding Microsoft and I'm watching that 421, I'm also watching the overall market, which I also did really like how the NASDAQ, and I'll show you right now, I liked how the NASDAQ maintained over our 19,750 level. If you guys came to the pre-market live stream, then you probably heard me talk about that 19,750. So I liked how the market held 19,750. That's good. And I liked how Microsoft was holding that 421. That was very good. So that is why I maintained Microsoft today. Now, midday, I really wanted to see Microsoft over that 423, right? That was this high from Thursday, and this was the high from yesterday at 423. And if we break this down into the 5-minute chart, we did have some struggle at that 423. We did have some struggle at that 423 pretty much all day, right? So we were below that 423.
We were above that 421, but I really wanted to see a nice move above that 423 high, which ultimately we got beautifully, right? You can see right here, we had those previous rejections that turned into support here late day, and that really caused that upside momentum. So that was great. When I started to see that happen, fantastic. Now, we moved up into the 100 SMA, which is where I did decide to take some profits, because if I go out to that 4-hour chart, my ultimate target on this trade is $430 per share. That's really where I want it to go to. But I also know that that 100 SMA, that's right here, that green line, could cause some rejections. So I wanted to go ahead and take some off at the 100, take half off at that 100, and then hold the rest for that 430 target. So that's pretty much a nutshell of my day, man. That's all I did, right? I just trusted the levels. I focused on the levels to maintain the position. We held above that 421. That was great. I wanted to see us above that 423. It was a little bit shaky, right? But it never broke 421. So that's where you hold, right? That's your indecision there. Eventually, we did get that push over the 423 high, right? And we turned it into a new support, which caused that upside push, where I did lock up some profits half off at the 100. So tomorrow, what I want to see tomorrow is I want to see at a very minimum a hold of 423 on any pullback, right? I want to see us hold that 423, and ideally, I'd like to see Microsoft get above that 100 SMA and start to turn that into support. If Microsoft can turn the 100 SMA into support tomorrow, that would really get me interested and excited for that upside continuation. So that's your Tuesday night update. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic night.
Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday morning. It's around 7:30 a.m. right now. About to jump onto the live stream with the group. As of today, in those 100 contracts on Microsoft, also in some NVIDIA swing trades, but really we're going to focus on that Microsoft trade. Took half off yesterday. Still really happy with that decision. As I talk about, guys, all the time, you have to be comfortable in the trades you're in, and I think that half off yesterday has made me comfortable today. I think it will help me trade today. It will make me stay more objective, right, rather than emotional. So I still think a really good decision there. Microsoft looking pretty good in the pre-market today. Outperformance versus the market as well yesterday also looks similar to today. We need to get through that 100 SMA level today. That's the key. Can we get over the 100 SMA? If we can, and we can hold above it, then I'm looking to maintain this position. So just a little morning update here. Everything looking good. No concerns, no crazy overnight drops that are affecting the position. So as of right now, very happy with Microsoft as of 7:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. I will obviously update you guys throughout the day today. Looking to potentially take some more profits today, but we shall see how the day goes. So stay tuned for more updates. Let's make it a fantastic trading day. All right, guys, so we didn't quite hit our goal, but we did pretty well. We did about half. We got 54,000 on Microsoft, an awesome trade. I was going for that 100K. I really wanted to hold for it. I was positioned sides correctly for it. I had the right target. There were some things that are just sort of spooking me on this market today. We got FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock. We got some really big fake out action today, intraday. I was up close to that 70,000 mark today when we had this big push on the market, which I will show you. But we got a really ugly and quick rejection point that I just couldn't react to, right? It was just so quick. So it was sort of money that was there, but really wasn't. You know, the market looked like it was going to continue higher, looked very nice. But we did have a very quick reaction back to the downside, which sort of spooked me out. And I did lock up the profits. I figured into FOMC, into Jackson Hole the rest of this week. I want to be cautious, right? I don't want to give this back. I don't want to be too greedy. Of course, I'm going for a target, and I really do want to challenge myself to get to that target and to be able to hold these swing trades, right? Part of the reason I'm doing this is to challenge myself to hold this size of a position multiple days. I've held this position since Monday, so it's been about a 3-day, right? Monday, Tuesday, and holding it into today. I've held this for over 3 days, 3 trading days, and I've had to control my emotions, control my, urge to get out of it, control my urge to do anything to manage this position. I've had to really look at it objectively and look at it for what it is on the chart and disconnect from the money. And that's what it's going to take, right, to take these types of trades, these large trades that I could potentially make $100,000 in a single trade, right? So if you have aspirations to get to that point, we need to remove the emotion from the trade, and that's what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself, and I'm documenting it along the way. So want to let you know, quick update. It is around it's around 1 o'clock here on Wednesday. Position is closed. We're going to go ahead and jump onto the screen, jump onto the charts, do a trade recap, show you guys everything, and then we will have a completion of this video.
All right, guys, so we are on the computer. It is Wednesday night. We're going to go ahead and do a recap, sort of close this trade out, right? Talk about what it did, what we ultimately got, and sort of what's going on right now for Microsoft. You guys can see I did ultimately close this position right down here. No more contracts. I went ahead and entered on August 19th, about 200 contracts. Went ahead and closed some of those up about 100% yesterday, and then closed the rest today up around, I think it was around 60%, right, in that area. And I'll talk to you why I did ultimately close this position today. But overall, the total P&L on the position, if I go ahead and bring this to TradeZilla, this is the total realized P&L on the position. So total realized, let me go ahead and put this correctly on the screen for us, is right around $54,036. So you can see the executions are the exact same here in TradeZilla. Those are my executions for you guys to see. I'll go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. Was entering there on the 19th and exited some yesterday and exited more today. Exited 100 yesterday and exited 100 today. And so that was the total that I got. I got about a 76% trade. There's about a 76% win. Had about 70,000 in the trade. Risked about 10K. That was my risk. And my target on the trade was about 140,000. Now, how do I get to these numbers, right? So my entry point was $418 per share, right? That was my entry point. So I'm going to go ahead and go to TOS. My entry point was right around here at $418 per share. And my plan was to hold it as long as it's over $417. So I was risking about $1 on the underlying asset, on the underlying stock. So $1 on the underlying stock with the contract that I was trading is right around a 0.5 delta, right? That's how I average. It's not going to be perfect, but it's about a 0.5 delta. So I figured I would lose about 50 cents on my contract if I went ahead and got stopped out, right? If I'm in at 417 and it goes under my 417 stop, that's $1 on the underlying. That's typically about 50 cents on an options contract. And so I went ahead and I put my stop loss at around $3. This is not a hard stop. I don't do that, but I'm doing that in terms of illustrating my risk on this trade. So my entry point was around $349, $350. If I put my stop at around $3, which would have been about $1 on the underlying stock, I would have lost about $9,900, about $10,000 on this trade if it would have stopped me out under 417. Now, my target was 430. That was my ultimate target for Microsoft to go to, $430 per share, which was roughly about $12 from my entry point. So I calculate that the contracts would have been really around the $13, $14 area if it got there quickly. Now, if I go ahead and go to the Microsoft contracts today, this was the peak of the Microsoft contracts today. The peak of the contracts went up to around $7.50, the contracts that I had, from my 350 entry. That was the peak, $7.50. And it was about $3 away from my target. So that would have been around $10, $10.50 on the contracts if I would have gotten my 430 target, which would have been right up here, right? And so I went ahead and TradeZilla and put that. It probably would have been around that $10 level for the contracts, and that would have been about $140,000 profit if I didn't sell anything. So just a rough estimate, guys. The risk reward on this trade was fantastic. The realized risk multiple was about 5.5, so I am very happy with the statistics on this trade. Average entry, 349. Average exit, 619. All right, so a really good, pretty much double on this trade. And that is the ending statistics of the Microsoft swing trade. So now, let's talk a little bit about what happened here we'll sort of review why I was taking this trade. We sort of already did that in today's video, but I'll quickly go over it, and then I'll sort of talk about why I did ultimately exit today and a few reasons why. So quickly, if you didn't watch the beginning of the video, which I'm sure you did, but 417 was just a really clear break and retest entry for me. There was some very clear previous demand that I talked about in the beginning of the video, and I was looking to long off that 20 SMA and that 417 level, right? We had a nice push through it. We had a rejection at that 423. We had a retest, and I was entering on the retest. Over the last two to three trading days, we've pretty much had that retest upside move, which was fantastic. Now, yesterday, I did hold the trade because it really set up nicely above that 421 level, right? 421, 421. I maintained the trade. We held it. That was yesterday's lows, and we held it beautifully. Nice upside. Now, today, my biggest concern was the 100 SMA. And you guys heard me say this in the little morning recap that we did. The 100 SMA was my biggest problem. And today, we just really failed that level, right? And if I go to the 5-minute chart, we tried to get through it. And there was a moment in today where I was like, oh, baby, this might start going, right? Because we held 423 perfectly. We got the push, but look at the rejections again up at that 100 SMA, and look at how heavy the selling was. And when I saw that, I said, hey, it's time, right? Let's take this off. That 100 SMA is causing way too much problem, right? And on top of that, we have some drama on the stock market, right? If we go to the S&P 500 today, we had a lot of drama on some of these big pops and big fails, right? This was a big pop, big fail here, right? We had a later day pop, later day fail. We're just sort of getting heavy up here. And I just wasn't as confident that the overall market could move higher into some of these major supplies on the market. So I said, 100 SMA Microsoft, you're up a fantastic amount, about 75% in this trade. We definitely could see Microsoft fade this 100 SMA and maybe give us a better entry once again, right? And so why sit through that, right? Take your profits, let it fade off the 100, and reassess. And so that's what I did, right? On top of that, FOMC minutes was in the way, and we have Jackson Hole that's sort of going on the rest of this week. So I'm a little concerned of some external sort of macroeconomic stuff going on that affects this position. So I took it off. That was my target. I stuck to it. The 100 SMA. Of course, I wanted this right here. This would have been that $100,000 profit if we got to that level. But I have made this mistake in the past. And if you guys are riding along for the journey, you know this. You probably remember Shopify. I was up around $50,000 on Shopify. I didn't take profits, and I lost it all. Not something I was interested in doing again, so I figured I'd do the right thing this time. So really nice break and retest, guys. An awesome example here of a little break and hold above that 417, right? Nice little double bottom. Set up that long off that level. Get that continuation. Scale out as you get it. And make sure you have those upside targets. That's pretty much the Microsoft trade in a nutshell. And I hope you did learn something from this sort of extended video. That's about it, guys. Oh, wow. Zoomed in. Very zoomed in. I hope you enjoyed. Actually, I need to zoom that out. Hold on here. Let's zoom that out a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed sort of the multi-day breakdown, a little bit more vlog style, a little bit more day in the life type feel. Let me know what you've thought about it. Let me know down in the comments below. Did you enjoy the little twist to the video, not just me in front of a computer screen? If you did, press that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.